Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of NCD, a podcast by Dixie Nadoja podcast. So I just realized how difficult that word podcast is to pronounce. It doesn't seem like it's difficult because they're just very obvious consonants and vowels.
Exactly.
But for some reason, when I was to say podcast, is like the D is stuck somewhere in the middle of my tongue. It does not know how to come out.
I think it's all about your intentionality with language.
With the language of
Like,
podcast. Hey, God, I beg.
I think it's all about your intentionality with language because the word is a very
It's a very what? It's a very
it's a
simple word
very
to pronounce.
simple word to
Do you get that? It's
pronounce.
just like podcast. Pronounce podcast, goodness. Why is the D so difficult to come out from your mouth?
Because the thing now is that certain English words are bougie, so it can only be pronounced by people who are
Okay, I'm not bougie. Sorry. These are the issues. Anyway, so welcome back to another episode. Today we have a guest, obviously, because this voice you just heard now, if you know it's not Dixon's voice. So
certainly not.
there's a guest on the podcast today, and he's very famous. And I mean, if you've been an average follower of the podcast, you know that we talk about Joker the Muse a lot. The girl happens to be my sister. Well, I'm not really sure if we are blood or something, but it's what they said. I came into life and I saw her. They said this girl is your elder sister, and I agreed. And I can't disagree. So yes, her real name is Treasure. Oh, what am I even saying? Do I hear you're holding my? Please introduce yourself. Tell us who you are and what you do for a living and what exactly you are doing here.
Okay. Hi, NTD farm, or should I say my fellow NTD farm? 'Cause I'm an NTD farm as well. So yes, my name is Adejoke
What's your real
Treasure.
name?
Treasure. I don't know. I'm gonna say real name like like Adejoke is a fake name. But yes, okay. Treasure is the other name. Should I mention the other name?
Is it necessary?
It's not necessary.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you. So yes, but my other real name is Joke the Muse. That's a very valid
Yeah.
real name. Yes. So I am a recent law graduate.
Oh, shut down.
Troubles. Thank you. I'm a
Of
recent
the
law
University of Nigeria. Complete it, please.
of the University of Nigeria, Enugu
Come
campus.
on.
Yes, not Osuka.
What's that supposed to mean?
So yes, I'm a recent law graduate and I'm a writer, spoken word artist.
Come on. Jesus, only one person.
What else am I?
Um, you're a writer and a reader.
I'm a reader, a movie watcher. Does that count?
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a writer, and I think I just say I'm a writer, and it's so funny because I remember one certain meeting we were having, and they're like, okay, so introduce yourself and what you can contribute to this content team, and I was like, hi, I'm Adijoke. I write. And it just felt I really tried to like bring okay, what do you do? But that's the only word in my head. Like I write, what if I just bring let me write so that I can do right. So yes, I think that's as much as I can see for myself now.
Okay, so you write what exactly? You write do you write books? Do you write I'm asking you all
No.
these questions for the NCD fam because me I know.
Oh, okay. No, I don't write books. Obviously, I think I started with I'm an author, but, but I don't write books. I okay. First of all, in the bit okay, I see what you mean when you're talking
Mm.
about English language now.
Uh-huh.
But I rise
You're not
above all
bougie.
obstacles. I rise above all obstacles. I am bougie. So, yes, the I'm just looking for a
What
word
are you
that has
trying
to
to
do with
say?
the barest, the basic. The basic,
at the basic.
the basic, the basic.
Just move on. I'm sure we get what
So
you're trying
yes,
to say.
I am a poet. I write poetry, and that's my love for poetry involved into spoken word artistry. I um, write spoken word poetry.
Poem. Is it poems they call it?
Let's stick to poetry.
But for you though, like, do you know that it was because of you I started reading poetry? Like before, if I just look at it, I'm like, what are you? What are you? Can you just be real? Just if you want to say something, write it as a normal person. Why do you have to cut through all of these corners to just? But like, first of all, I feel like yours is very, very relatable and understandable. Like if you read it, there's some people that you read their poems, you read it beginning to end, you don't understand anything they're saying.
I think when I realized how relatable my poetry can be,
Mm.
it made me realize that I I should be a spoken word artist.
Mm.
Because most people
Yeah,
just say, okay, so poetry written for performance poetry. Performance poetry is more relatable than just
William
print poetry
Shakespeare.
and all that.
Yeah.
So yes,
Mm.
but then aside poetry, I write a host of other things. I write flash fiction,
Okay.
yes, and I write uh, non-creative fiction as well. Non-creative fiction, non-fiction, creative.
Non-fiction. What are you trying to say?
No, scrum. Moving on. So I write. Goodness, I blame you for asking me that question.
Sorry. Okay. So rumor has it on this podcast that you've been reading since childhood. Can you tell us a bit about that?
So yes, I have been reading since I was 5 years old.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What was I when we were five
Oh,
years
you
old?
did not know.
1, 2. Okay, I was just Jesus
You were
Christ.
just two. I don't think there's a way you would have known. I've been reading since I was 5 years old. I used to read Enid Blyton. I hope I'm pronouncing it
Yeah,
well.
okay. I
Yes, Enid
remember that one.
Blyton's books then for children. The stories were very captivating. They were
Mm.
huge. Okay, not very huge, but they were huge enough for a child. And then my dad was my biggest enabler as a child when it came to reading, because once I was done with the book and I was pestering hard enough, we would go to the bookstore and get another one. And so from
I think
five,
I think that time we used to buy like 4 of them at the same time because we had like a lot in the house.
yes, there were a
Mm.
lot. So it was like when we go, he will not just get one, because and not only was I was reading fast. Yes,
Mm.
like I was reading fast.
Let me tell you something. These things annoy me back then when we were younger. I don't think you ever noticed, but I'm just like, what do you people mean that you are spending? Because like, apart from like any blessing now, she now grew up and I started getting all those Larry Wick, all those guys, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Is it because me I'm not reading? Because I did not come out and say that I'm a reader. Because you just go out and just come up with like 3 new books. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys?
Oh my god.
I spend money on books.
And it's so funny because my other sister had this, she had the same issues, and my other sister didn't start reading till
It was very recent, very
very
recently.
recently,
Yeah.
yes, like a couple of years ago. But then back then, there was this time we went to the bookstore, and then I would not go alone with my dad because my sisters would come as well in case they wanted to get stuff. Because it wasn't just a bookstore; it had
Mm.
other artists for. It had other sections for children's toys and stuff and all of that. The mother sister bought a book one day, Eat That Frog,
Mm.
and it was I. It's very hard for me to read self-help books. I will lie. But then I was in primary school. I believe she was in primary school as well, or maybe
I think
just
she was
as
in
one.
GS class at the time.
And in all honesty, looking back now, I wonder what she was using Eat That
I
Frog
don't
to
think.
do.
I don't think. Right now, I do. Are you sure she got that book herself? I
I
feel like.
don't.
I feel like there's an element of mommy in it.
Like, what does a child have to do? What do you want to do with Eat That? I remember hating the book there so much because I tried reading it and it made no sense.
Because like how can I move from reading Ellie Blas to reading Eat That
You
Frog? Like
get and all of that. So my dad, we got university books a lot, and then through primary school, I had classmates who had elder siblings that loved reading as well,
Mm,
and then there were like two or three of us that also loved reading, so we'd always come together, plan how we're going to get books and read. And I think from primary four into five, I think that I was 8, 9 then.
mm,
I was already reading proper novels, like full length novels
okay.
and all. Moving into secondary school and all, my dad was my biggest enabler because until my mid-teens, he was buying me books every holiday. So moving from enabling into my Christian romance era, and he was the first Nigerian fiction, like proper hard copy, aside the one that was just for literature in school,
Mm.
that I ever had. I think I was chasing facades. I don't remember the author now. My dad was the one who got it for me, and shout out to you,
Ooh.
Dad. So yes, I've always loved reading.
Okay, I think your love for reading that I just picked up like right from time. I mean, if I don't think if you did not have books, I would have been
Mm,
reading. Do you get so like
yeah.
the fact that as much as I do not like that they're spending money on you
Mm.
when they buy the books, me I
But
know
they were
now.
spending money on me.
Shut up. When they buy the books, me I know that I'll also read it. You get so like
Yeah.
if you're receiving 4 new books, me too I know I also have 4 new books that I also read. Even if
Yeah.
I was not reading as fast, but
Yeah,
like
it's
I
all
see
about influence
what are you please can
and
you allow
all
me
that.
finish?
Oh, sorry.
So yeah. And so before we move on to what we want to talk about today, I just want you to tell the world or the NCD fam now a fun fact about yourself.
Fun fact
Please don't
about
tell us that you
myself.
like beans. That's not fun. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
that's very fun because it's fun because I think I made beans 2 days ago,
Jesus Christ.
and halfway through the cooking process, I realized I was very happy. I realized it's because I was cooking
Do
beans.
you find that was it like a week ago they asked me to cook beans? And I kept saying I'm like, I beg, please, what do they do here? Because I don't cook this food.
I was so
I don't
excited.
I don't cook this food. Like why would I just stay and
I
cook
just I just
beans?
noticed that my mood improved.
Hey God.
And I was cooking it in the worst, under the worst circumstances,
Ha!
actually. Which I realized my mood. I was so happy that the beans was coming out finally. But if one fact about myself, okay, let me see. So that was actually very strange. I used to do stand up comedy in secondary
That's
school.
true.
I used to do stand up comedy in secondary school. So we
Hmm.
had this thing, the first and last Wednesdays of the month.
DJW.
I think we do it. We started it in my SS2.
Mm.
A friend and I. Um, um, Dry Jokes
Graduate Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I cannot believe that I witnessed that and I not cringe. Because
Oh,
at the time, I was just
I can't
happy
even
to
believe it was
I was
allowed.
just
Like they let
bro,
us
like
do
do you get
it.
I was just happy to be that girl whose sister was funny because I mean the jokes were actually always funny.
No, they were
People
actually
used to
was very
put so much effort in
funny.
it. So I was just happy to be the girl whose sister used to
I
be
was
dry
surprised
jokes
they even let
Wednesday.
us. And for context, I went to an Air Force school,
Mm,
Air Force Comprehensive School, do you? And then you just wonder, like, okay, an Air Force school, they let, because it was always after um press club would read news.
yes, so now yeah.
They will now call us up for tragic. And it was, I think about it now, how epic it was because anytime they called the both of us, I and my friend then, Deborah, whenever they called the both of us up, like, the crowd
The
goes,
crowd goes wild.
wow. And it's like, and it's always so, it was amazing because we used to plan this thing.
Like they
Like,
would even usually carry egg from dining so you can do egg roll on
do
the
you
and I'm
understand?
just like God.
Oh my god.
It was so impressive. It was so impressive
Honestly,
actually.
then I would come up with props and do things. It
Mm,
was
please,
so
I need or when you like I need someone from the audience and stuff like that. I
yes.
know. Or maybe you get one junior student that has a name that has to do with the
The,
joke that you want.
the joke. The tragic question was
Ah
it
God.
was I don't know. But yeah, that was a fun fact about me. I used to be a stand-up comedian. I dabbled in stand-up comedy. I should add it to my CV.
Nah.
I should
Oh
add it to
God.
my CV,
Okay.
yeah.
So All right. Thank you. Moving forward now. Make this thing sounds too official. I need to relax. Let me put my back on the chair so that.
Yes, lean back, relax.
So I thought and thought of what we could talk about on this episode, and let me not even make it look like it's me that came up with the idea of us talking about Popo Hibiscus. I was just speaking with Dixon, and then he's like, "Oh, you guys should speak about Popo Hibiscus. You like the book. Treasure likes the book too, so both of you can might as well just talk about it." And then I was like, "Ah, how did it never occur to me?"
Yeah, shout out to you, Dixon. You know, you
You
just
are the
know.
perfect half for this podcast. What will I do without you? So yes, I think the first time I read Purple Hibiscus, first of all, CNE is an amazing author. Like I'll say this over and over and over again. I think she has a book that's coming out this 2025. I think the book's coming out in March. Have you seen it?
Yes, I
I can't
have,
remember the name of the
and
book now. But yeah, she has a book that's coming out this year. And like I think they say it's been 10 years since she last published a book.
yes,
Mm.
exactly. And it's like we've just aside, I think that's aside the short stories,
Yeah.
Zikora that she published.
Mm.
Like it's been yes since she published a full length novel. So everyone just saw it and they were like, it's like
Oh god.
water after you've been walking in the desert for a long time. But shout out to
Like
other Nigerian authors. You people,
yeah,
I've said
yeah.
shout outs a lot.
If you just a shout out the go now.
I think it's
Nobody
because I'm holding the mic.
probably you think you're on radio.
I think yes. But shout out anyways. Shout out to anybody, all of you.
Shout out to you whose birthday is today.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Yeah, so I really like Chimamanda one, and then Purple Hibiscus is my favorite. Let's just move on.
Mhm.
CNE book. And I like that book so much. I think the first time I read it I was in SS2. No, not SS2. I was in junior class. First time I read Purple Hibiscus. I don't just remember the exact class now, but I know that in secondary school I think I should have read it like two times. Now these two times is because I don't have like I just had access to the book those two times. That's just why.
Yeah,
But like I think after that I read it again. I think in total in my life I read Purple Hibiscus like it's either 4 or 5 times. I'm not sure now. But I intend to
okay.
read it again this year. But
Exactly.
the book is just really nice. The book
It's like
is
it's like it's like I should read Purple Hibiscus every year. Like, okay, there's this part of the year dedicated to reading Purple Hibiscus, and I can move on with every other thing. I think back then when I was much younger, early what am I saying early? Before I was even a teenager, when for some reason there was a copy of the book I had at home. I don't know how I got that copy, how the copy came,
mm,
but it was in the house. It was torn back cover,
yes.
front cover. It was out, but it was Purple Hibiscus. I feel like the book is still somewhere in this house,
Yeah.
but that's fine. So yes, Purple Hibiscus, and it's so funny because that book is like one of my all-time favorite books. And anytime I hear the book, there's this the first thing that settles on me is awe.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was talking to somebody. I read something on my I think it's in my notes app right now. I wrote it about purple hibiscus. So I was just I read I think the first line of that whatever I wrote was the first line. Things fell apart at home when Jaja flung the with the missile on the Jagger. That's that first line. So and then I think I was speaking to somebody actually that year, the year I wrote that thing.
Yeah.
And so the person said he came to UNN because of like Chimamanda's books. I think it was because Purple Hibiscus. He came to see the places that Chimamanda wrote about Purple Hibiscus. Here, here, this place. And then I was just like, oh, that's too extreme, but I can't even judge you, man, because
Honestly, honestly,
like I felt like, it's so bad that I can be working in a certain place in school and then I'll just pause and be like, Chimamanda could have worked this place. It doesn't make any sense. But I just feel happiness in my heart that so I'm passing this S building or I'm passing this officer. Chimamanda could have walked this path before me. I'm like, oh my god, walking on the
Honest.
path of greatness.
And there was something you said in that particular piece of writing you did, where you said okay, you said I lived in Nsuka and I was in UNN before I even actually came here.
Mm.
Came here because of purple hibiscus, and it's just the truth because number of times I read the book before I even got admission. I did not even, because of the course I studied, I did not school in the campus in Nsuka, yes. But for the few times I came there, it just felt like
You had been there before. It
I've
felt
been
familiar.
exactly. It feels very familiar. Like I know what's happening, is going on here.
Yes.
There's something about this place. and and it just, I don't know, I can't even explain it. But anytime purple hibiscus comes up, the word, I hear it, something, whatever. The first thing that just settles on me is awe. Like, ah,
Like somebody has written
people
something
they
in this
write.
book. Like, come on, like you they right. God.
Oh my god.
But okay, so just for food that so people will not get confused as we're talking. Can you just give us like a brief summary of what the book is about?
Okay, so I'm going to do my best because sometimes greatness is difficult to talk about. But yeah, so purple hibiscus basically revolves around the life of the girl Kambili and her brother, and it just shows how, excuse me, it just shows how little events or little things or experiences can shape a man's life or shape a person's life and turn them, and how one single thing or one simple, and the example I'm going to use here is carrying a bucket of water on your head,
Okay.
and then it's balanced on your head, but what's making it balanced is that you're using a particular, like one finger to hold it in place. You're not using your two hands now, you're just using one finger to hold it in place. And it seems so insignificant, one finger, but then you take away that finger and everything just
Yeah.
falls out of place and all of that. So it's like this one thing. So the one thing I noticed about purple hibiscus was how certain experiences or certain things can just make or mar a person's life completely. And so yes, about Kabli and her brother, they were children of Papa Eugene. Papa Eugene is a very interesting character. And yes, so they lived in Lagos. Was it Lagos? No, or
Is it
Enugu?
Lagos? I don't know now. Hold on. Just let me check.
Okay. I think I've said Lagos because just know a lot of Igbos that we call them, I call them Igbos in diaspora because why are you in Lagos? Come back to Enugu. But I actually think they stayed in Enugu, not Lagos. That was a mistake. But please confirm so that
I'll be on
I'll leave my apologies in
right
vain.
away.
So yes, but then her father was rich. He had a lot of money. They were devout Catholics, and yeah, four of them.
Okay, they actually do live in luxury in Enugu.
Luxury Enugu.
Because they're not living in the parts of Enugu. They live like
Exactly.
yeah, in luxury Enugu.
Yeah, luxury Enugu. So I think Lagos just came to my mind because of
The way they describe the house.
yes, and
Yeah.
then the way they travel home and all, and the fact that the father had someone working for him at the cooker or so.
Yeah.
So there's someone that calls me at the cooker
Really? Why?
because for some reason Adejoke is difficult to pronounce, but Adekoka is the easy thing, is the easy one.
What is that?
Anyways, so yes, her father was a lot of things. Devout Catholic. He owned factories where different kinds of things were made. But the one thing I remember that was made in the factory was juice. Because there was this particular scene where they brought
They
the
brought it for
juice
them to taste
for
on
them
the
to
dining.
taste.
Yeah.
Yes. think it was cashew nuts juice also. Anytime I read that scene of all the plenty times I've read that book, that and this is why Chimamanda is such a profound writer, because anytime I read that scene, there's a taste of cashew nut juice in my mouth,
What?
and I'm bothered by
Have you
it.
tasted cashew nut juice before?
I have
What do
zero
you know?
idea. But I think the taste that comes to my mind is maybe making cashew nut, juicing cashew nut and pouring it into chi exotic
Okay, okay, okay.
pineapple
Pineapple.
and combo, yes. And I don't know. But anyways, I think I will not like it actually. But yes, so her father was a lot of things. They were very rich. She and Jaja went to one of the best schools in the state and all of that. And so life was seemingly normal. But then this
This
family
was spoken word. This one, yeah, the apostle. Hey, God, I mean,
stick with me. So yes, they were going through diverse kinds of abuse in the hands of their father, Papa Eugene. That's both both children and the
and the
mother.
mom.
Yes, diverse kinds of abuse, physical abuse and emotional. We just translated into emotional abuse, mental abuse, because I mean this is someone who is supposedly your father. So um the abuse was to the point that I'm trying to give a brief summary of the book, but it's now scattered because the way the book is structured, it's like middle to beginning, back to middle, right? I'm mixing it up. But then the story starts from the middle back to the beginning. Like it now falls back to that particular. Yes, so it
Time,
starts,
yes.
yeah, exactly. So so it um yes, so the abuse was very, like, really bad, because I know there was a time where the mom, she lost her
Was
pregnancy.
it not twice? I think she lost like two
She
pregnancies.
has two
Yeah, she had
pregnancies,
like two
right?
miscarriages. Yes.
Yes. But the one I particularly remember was where she lost the baby because their father used a stool on her stomach. He used a side stool on her stomach, and she lost the baby for very inconsequential reasons, of course. And another form of abuse that really stood out for me was when say stood out for me now made it seem like such a good thing. But yes, the man's abuse was really
And the
profound.
man, he used to plan it well.
He
Like
planned
he was proper,
he
very
practiced.
well
Oh my
planned
god.
out.
So yes, I think they were supposedly fasting that morning.
Yes.
Yes, they were fasting,
Mm,
and then Kambili couldn't join the fast because her monthly period had started
that morning.
at that
And
morning. Yes, and she was having cramps. She was having dysmenorrhea.
what was that?
I just found out that that's the medical
Oh my
term
god.
for menstrual cramps. So yes, she was having menstrual cramps that morning, and because she had to take drugs, her mom said she should quickly eat cornflakes.
And yes.
And in the process of eating the cornflakes, she was caught by her dad. I think how the punishment went that morning was that, boiling hot water was poured on her arms, right? I mean her
I
hand.
don't remember.
It was
I knew there was all the
her Oduduwa, please. You will not disgrace me.
my house.
Oduduwa, you will not disgrace me on this podcast. Boiling hot water was poured on her
Ha
hands.
hands.
Her hands.
Oh my days.
Yes.
Okay, I think there was also another punishment. I don't know. I think someone was Jaja Nawaho. I don't remember, but like this one he called him to the room, took him to the bathroom. They
Mm.
boiled water again. I don't know that man and boiling water. I think he poured it on that on the feet or something before he now flogged me. I don't remember how it went. And I think I'm even like getting it wrong. But I know there's another hot water one that happened inside the man's
The
bathroom.
man and they had the thing with
Yeah,
hot
it's me hot
water.
water.
So, anyways, yes, and so this was their life. Go to school, make good grades, come back, suffer abuse, all that. And it just seemed like
They
a
had like so many rules like in their house.
exactly,
Yes.
where you're living in bondage, right?
But
There's
it's
so
like the
many.
luxury kind of bondage.
Yes, exactly. And then the funny thing is now, this is the only life you know. So
Yes.
you don't know that there's a life outside this, that there's a life where your house can be filled with laughter,
Mm.
where things are not difficult, where you're not boxed in by rules, where you're not scared of every turn because you wonder what your father might say or
Yeah.
do. So it's like being abused and being restricted and all of that was the only life they knew. And then things changed along the book when they moved or when they visited Nsuka for the first time to stay with their auntie Forma. And auntie Forma was their father's younger sister.
Yeah.
Yes. She stayed at Nsuka. She was
She stayed on campus, have you?
Yeah, she stayed on
Yeah.
campus. She stayed on campus with she stayed with her three children. Yeah, she was a lecturer.
Mm.
Yeah, so she stayed on campus with her three children. The only name comes to my mind now is Amaka. I think there was an OB, but I don't remember. But I liked Amaka a lot. That's why
Yeah.
I'm remembering her. So yes, anyways, this when they moved there or they went there for a particular visit, and then for some reason they were
Allowed to go back
allowed to go
again.
back. That's when their life truly began to turn around, like it began to change, and they began to see that there's just something outside, that there's a different life outside this life. And
Yeah.
it seemed strange. I think it took a while for Kambili to adjust to it,
Mm.
because what do you mean?
Yeah. There are
Your
no rules here.
There are no rules here that your mother can tell you this and you can suggest your own thing back.
Mm.
And if your own actually makes sense, you can agree to it.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Mm.
Like people can have a conversation, not that you're being spoken to,
Mm.
you're being spoken with.
Mm.
So it was a lot. And it's so another thing that's very profound about this book is that you're really able to see the story behind the character's eyes, and then you
Yes.
understand how this thing just feels like for her and all of that. So yes, there were other subplots around about stuff around bad governance, then the military government,
Yeah.
and how her father was actively fighting against this thing. That's Papa Eugene now. He was actively fighting against it, and there's just you'd see a mix of Nigerian history there with the whole letter bombing of
Mm.
the man
Mm.
Adekoka.
Mm.
Yes, the whole letter bombing. That was when he apparently her father had a newspaper. Yes,
Yes. Yes. He had
and
a
then the
newspaper
newspaper
company.
was always speaking against, calling the government out with their wrongs and whatnot. His newspaper was like Niger Twitter then,
Mm.
calling
What do you call
out
it
bad
again?
governance and all of that.
Arise to.
He was the Arise the Arise
Mm.
TV of the book.
Mm.
So yes, he's the man who was directly in charge of this thing. He got killed. He got killed by a letter bomb, and so these are just like sub issues that
The book also covered.
yes. So the book was like a division. There's their life at Kambili and Jaja's life in Enugu, and their life in Nsuka, Enugu. And then you can experience, you can feel the shift. It's like you are moving from rain to sunshine.
Mm.
You can feel the shift in the book, rain to sunshine, and it's that I don't think I've been given a good summary.
Yeah.
I
It was
don't
not
know
even quite
how.
because I don't know. Please
Yeah.
just go and read it. Can't find it and read it, please.
Yes. And
Yeah.
sorry, as I just have to add, as we're talking about the whole shift and all of that, the first thing that came to my mind was this ah, okay, no, let's just keep. I think eventually at the course of the podcast, I'll
Okay.
find
Okay.
a reason to say it.
All right. So, I'll first questions first. Who is your favorite character for the book? Let me answer. I think it's Camille. I'm not sure now. It has to be Camille. It's actually let me just favorite characters now can be I liked Antiforma too.
Yeah.
I liked Fadamadi. I liked um Amaka. Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay, so two characters out of the one, the two you mentioned. I love Kambili a lot. I loved Amaka.
Mm.
I say loved. It's not past tense. It's present. I love
Yeah.
Amaka. I love Amaka. I love Kambili so much. I love Kambili so much, and she has proper main character energy. And
Like so we know.
do you understand? Kambili is a very quiet person, but then somehow her quietness is like the world revolves around me kind of quiet.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like I'm excuse me, I'm quiet, but you must notice that I am quiet. So notice me in my quietness. So yes, I love Amaka so much. I love Amaka because she was just Amaka. Like she was different.
Yes, yes.
She was just and I think it's because even you as the reader, you'd experience the shifts from when they were in Enugu to when they came to Nsukka. And it's like the one difference you would feel in that shift is Amaka. Like there was something different about Amaka that was just different. Like that caused a difference in
Yes, can't
Kambili's
believe
life.
yes.
So that's like and that's one of the examples I was trying to give earlier with the finger holding the bucket in place
Mm.
and all of that. There was just something. There was just something about I don't know. I can't pinpoint it. But then and she draws as well. Amaka draws and all of that. So the other I love Jaja.
Yeah, actually.
I love
Mm.
Jaja. I love Jaja. I love the way Jaja was able to. I can't explain it, but I love Jaja. I love Jaja. I love his ability to or his ability to break out of the norm. And
Yeah.
how it was so easy it was so easy for him to adapt to the change
In yeah, when it goes in
when he
Suka.
got in Suka.
Mm.
Yes, Kambli was just
I think it was more difficult for her because like she was the go by the rule kind of person when she was that because she didn't want to always find
yes,
trouble.
but
But
Jaja
Jaja
is
was
the
like
one that threw
through the
threw things and broke things. uh,
okay, so I want to say favorite scene now, but let me just what I want to say so you understand what I'm talking about, what you
okay,
answer. I think my best part of the book was when they moved to Nsuka. As I
yeah,
like to say, because
yeah,
like me self, I was looking for life to get what was happening. I
exactly.
was like, what's even happening? What's
You
happening
it's
here?
like you're
What's
also
going
in.
on?
and,
Me
and
self,
that's
I
why
was scared of Papa Eugene.
Chimamanda is such a
I was scared.
that's why CNA is such a profound writer, because you would feel boxed as well with
Mm,
Kambili,
mm.
and then when you get to Suka you feel free.
Yes, like I was so happy with Auntie Former. I was happy with like I saw she was just a free person. I remember when Kambi was so shocked by the kind of clothes that Amaka used to wear. She was like,
Exactly.
what's happening? What's going on here? And I like the fact that when they moved to Suka, she had like an opportunity to figure out the kind of person that she was, things she liked,
Eh,
how it was, how
do you get,
life
because back
was.
at Enugu
Uh,
she was basically a robot.
yeah, so that was just like my favorite part of the book, basically. The times they were in Suka. I'll
Okay.
say that.
So when you said favorite scene, actually there are two scenes that came to my mind.
I say
And
scene, I say, was it meant to be seen?
yes.
Drama, Abby. Okay, go on, go on.
So two parts came to my mind, and I don't know if I'll call it favorite, but they're like scenes that have stuck with me, and
Mm,
I don't know why. The first one was at Informa's house when they brought out chicken from the fridge because they had light issues
mm.
in the university as a whole, had light
Oh,
problems.
of course.
And then no surprise there, Chimamanda, you weren't wrong.
You are wrong.
So the university had light issues, and then the chicken was spoiling. It was getting spoiled. Spoiled, right? It's getting spoiled.
Don't ask me, please.
It was spoiling. The chicken was spoiling. So yes, and they brought it out, and there was just a whole attempt to save it. I put salt, boil it quickly, this one, that one, and then eventually they used they overused chicken because they just packing chicken to cook all the things they could possibly cook with the chicken. You know how there's some places that chicken should not be like afang soup.
Yes.
Like what's chicken doing in afang soup? That kind of thing. So and they all when they gathered around to eat the chicken that had spoiled. It had not spoiled completely, but you know that this thing
That's a change taste.
yes, exactly. So and all of that, and the way they ate it with happiness, there was complaint. Now wow, this kind of chicken self. Why can't we just buy new? All those things and all those things, but these are just like regular family banter. I think I loved it because it was regular family banter, and it was one of the first you'll see in the book.
Yeah.
Yes, because such things did not happen in
yes.
something like chicken spoiled in back at Camberley's place. Sisi was the house.
Yeah.
Yes. Sisi will hear it that day. You mean? And it's funny because how is this Sisi's fault that chicken spoiled inside fridge? But then Sisi will hear it that day, and then it will just spoil the entire dinner. But they're still able to make something out of chicken getting spoiled, and I think it's sticking with me because something similar happened recently at home with meat. I was able to make something about it. At that moment, all I remembered was this particular scene in the book. The other scene I really like was when they went for a picnic somewhere. This is towards the ending of the book. When they went for a picnic, all of them. I remember Ribena. I remember running a hill.
Yes.
Yes. There's a picture of that scene in my head that I love. Like I cannot get over it. There's something.
I think another scene I really liked was when Camille went to father and Amadi to go and watch a football match that was happening with somebody that Amadi was training.
Yeah,
And then
that
she
was
now went to the market to make her hair.
yes. I think the making her own trumped the watching football own for me. There was something about the making her own and the woman that was selling snails that one eventually escaped or one tried to escape that she caught.
I don't know, Chimamanda is so good. Did I tell you that there was a time that we used to have lesson at BHA? I was coming back from lesson that evening. We were walking back, and then I saw a house that I was so sure was from one of Chimamanda's books. Like I don't know which book is that now. I think it's not the around your neck.
Half of a Yellow Sun.
No, I've not completed half a year, so that means it's Americana.
Americana.
That house that had the what was that thing now? Was it a peacock? There was a strange animal that used to be in the house. So like when I saw it, I was like, guys, I tried to stop people on the road that I was walking with, and I told them that this is the house on Chimamanda's book. And they're like, what's happening to this girl? Like, guys, you don't understand. Like, I'm so sure this is the house. This that's missing is that peacock. But like that's how good
because
Chimamanda is.
yes, because sometimes like I'm walking and I see a tree. There's this friend of mine, her name is Adana. Adana reminds me of purple hibiscus as a whole. What? Honestly, she reminds me of purple hibiscus in totality. She's a reader too. She loves reading, loves CNE. And maybe it's because her both parents are lecturers in UNN.
Okay, probably.
Stays in staff quarters or something. I don't know. But she reminds me of the entire book and all of that. I think there are more factors to that chapter. I can't pinpoint it exactly. So yes, that's it. Those are scenes that I loved.
Okay. All right. So now let's just talk a bit about Papa Eugene. You know, the man was seen as an abuser, a devout Catholic too. And I realize every time I read the book that I don't exactly hate this man. I don't hate him as how you see someone that abuses you and you hate him. I don't hate him like that because I don't know that I like that I don't hate him. Do you get? But like, there's the part where um after he has, I think that was the one where he hit her stomach with his foot, and then he took her to the hospital, and then he came
Yeah.
back and to explain to the children that this and that happened, that he
When
beat
he
her.
came back to lie. Because he came back to lie.
And you just be for the moment after, I mean, like, it's very stupid because at that point he become a very caring and loving husband to his wife. Right, yes. His wife. And all that. And I don't like, I mean, I obviously I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of stories of people that do abuse you today, do beat you now, and then they apologize in the next minute, and that's
Yeah.
I
That's classic abuser behavior.
so that one is just there. That's the reason why I like him. I think it's just that I feel like there was something else that this man must have, I don't know, had to go through. I don't even know. I don't know. Loki, I was happy when the wife poisoned him. No, Loki, high key. Because I'm like, oh, okay, just get out of this story. I beg you, I know this family, everything will be fine. But I'm just like, what exactly could have
You feel
caused this
like
kind of character?
he had a story that was not explored.
Yeah, something like that. Oh,
Yeah.
and then we didn't even see anything with his father because we just know that okay, he did not like his father because his father was the what's let me do what now he did. But yeah, so he didn't like his father because that was the word they used in the book.
A heathen.
No, not hidden Abby. There was the word they used in the book. I don't remember now.
It was he
But
called him a heathen.
okay. So yes, and they didn't give us backstory with him and the father and all of that.
But
So
that's the thing. I think it's
and sorry, another thing now, Antiforma was not now like him. Do you get so you
exactly.
cannot say okay,
So
it
you
was
cannot
childhood,
you
kidney,
get, and
that.
then if you notice the relationship between his father, that's Papa Eugene's father,
Mm,
that's their granddad,
yes.
and other people around him, he will know that the problem was not the father. The problem was Papa Eugene,
Himself.
because Amaka had a beautiful relationship with her grandfather.
Mm. Yes.
Exactly. And or whatnot. So now the thing, um, okay, the whole thing about his story not being explored and whatnot, that there has to be a reason, there has to be a backstory, there has to be a this and all of that and whatnot. True, but unnecessary, because I mean, let's look at it with life now, where we have real life abusers, and then somebody beats up his wife, for instance, and gets her killed. He has killed her. A murder has happened. She has died.
Mm-hmm.
At that point where he's being arrested, tried, the stories everywhere, whatnot, and all that. People's business is that somebody has died
Mm,
in the hands of an abuser,
mm,
not this man went through childhood trauma, so he has now killed somebody.
yeah.
And now, because he went through childhood trauma, we should understand why he killed somebody. Do you get? So it's like, and I feel that's why this is an assumption. That's why Chimamanda did not delve much into his backstory.
Okay.
This is that because in the real world, it's honest. Okay, maybe not in the entire world. In Nigeria, it's unnecessary. Maybe if you go abroad now, they'll tell you, oh yeah, go and do counseling. Now find out
Hmm.
this is the problem. Now say, okay, take him to um
We have.
rehab. This is so that he will not be the same way and whatnot and whatnot. But in Nigeria, nobody cares. They don't care about, oh, how the problem is his mind. Let's find out what's wrong with him, give him therapy and whatnot. Nobody actually really cares. And it's how much and another thing it will just show is how much um your behavior. Oh, I think I'm sounding like Dixon. What do you think?
It's fine. It's just you are complimenting me well.
I was about to say your behavioral. I was like,
Yeah,
no,
like
no,
what's happening to me?
that's not
That sounds familiar.
that sounds familiar. And I've heard this somewhere. How your behavior? I refuse to
Start
be
strong.
deep. I start giddy bar. I refuse to shake. So, so how certain traits you grow up with, certain traits that affect your life will now not just affect your life, but affect the lives
Life
of
of
other
others,
people around
yeah.
you.
Mm.
Yes. And it's, I mean, as abuse aside, you see it with just maybe regular stuff. Someone who likes to transfer aggression,
Mm.
this, that, and whatnot. It will affect the relationship you have with other people. So it's like, I think the backstory, yes, but in my opinion, like Omo, it wasn't needed
Backstory or no
because
backstory.
yes, this
That's
man
not
was
how,
a
yeah, he's
wicked
a wicked
man.
man.
The man was wicked. He was a lot, and I think somehow it made Kambili see him as a god of some sort.
Mm.
Yes, and maybe he saw himself as a god of some sort too, because if somewhere he felt like his actions showed that he needed to be in control.
Mm.
He wanted to control things. He did not like when things did not go his way. So it's like, I have a voice and I need to be heard, so I must be heard. And so it's like, it now felt to me like, oh, since he could not control what was going on in the government, he can
Okay,
control what's
control
going on
that
in his
his
home.
family.
He
Okay.
can control what's going on in his home. But yeah, so Papa Eugene was.
No, the man was something. The man was
I
really
think of
something.
his abuse patterns, and I'm like,
Chronic abuse. Like he
what do
knows his
you?
stuff.
He knows his stuff.
Okay. So, um, I noticed that when I was talking about Father Mali, you did not say anything about him. So let me just ask now.
Okay.
What do you think of the relationship between Kabili and Father Madi?
Um.
Nice relationship. Make it sound like they were dating or anything. Also, they weren't.
Okay. So relationship Kambili and Father Madi. Relationship between Kambili and Father Madi. Huh. I thought about it now, and the first thought that came to my mind was, if Kambili was my daughter. So I think I'm just going to answer it from that perspective. If Kambili was my daughter, hmm, Father Madi, if not that you are a man of God,
That's right, father.
if not that you are a father, and I
But
respect
like,
you,
but let's actually look at it. The man didn't actually do anything. You know,
he did
she
not.
just had it. I feel like it was. I knew that her moment of discovering herself in quotes now. So it
Yes,
was very easy for her to just. Obviously, she did not have any other. Prior to that, I'm sure she never had the audacity to as
to
much as crush on a boy. Do you
or to
get?
have a male friend,
Because her
yes.
father will cut her neck off. So like I think at that point it should have been very easy for her to just have feelings to just get misplaced. Because I mean, Fanamadi was someone that was friendly with Amaka and then with her too. So like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she just things just went out of control in her own head based on this is the first male cycle without friend that I have and her feelings may just have, you know,
Yes,
gone
that's
out of
that's
place.
actually very true.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the problems came from her own end,
Mm-hmm.
because there was not much that she knew.
Yes.
Exactly. And I think she did not even realize that she was crushing on him, because I
Mm.
mean, did she even know what the concept of crush was? And so, but then I was seeing this series recently, Just Us Girls. And in the series there's this girl. I think she's 17 years old.
That's coin as what's now cousin
Her
niece.
cousin,
Yeah.
yes, her junior cousin. And then she came, and then there's this she was staying with she started university. She was staying with her older cousin, and then her older cousin stayed with her friends and all. So one of the friends had a brother, and the girl lived a very sheltered life prior
Mm.
to starting university. It's like starting university was her first openness to the
Exposure.
world.
Yeah.
Yes, exposure to the world. Exactly. Getting
Yeah. Yeah.
bougie.
Yeah.
So yes, and she started liking this guy who was way,
Older than her.
yes, and it was, looking at it from the outside, you just think, oh, he's being nice to her and all of that, and whatnot. But the thing now is, everybody has instincts, and you will know. Because one thing I found out from the series was that he he was not, you will not say he liked her back. He didn't. She was a child. He was in his, let's say, early 30s. So you wouldn't say he liked her back or something, but his actions were enabling her.
That's very true. No.
Yes, and that's the problem. I think that was just my issue, or the slight issue I had with Father Madi. Other than that, he was a great man, great character, and all of that. But then his actions were enabling her. Certain things he just did. And oh, now I'm crossing it with this series I watched. But yes, basically, because it's sort of the same thing, where it's just you're getting special attention from this person and this, and especially when you know that this person is sheltered, this person was sheltered, this person doesn't have, they don't know much.
Yeah, and they can't control how they.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they're not able to, you being the older and the wiser should be able to control it. Yes. So things don't blow out of proportion. I cannot say exactly if he liked her or not. Chimamanda can be quite mysterious and not let us know. But if it comes down to his relationship with her, this and all of that, there was a bit of enabling that
He probably did unconsciously.
yes.
Yes, but
That's the thing.
I think what we're trying to say is that he should have been more careful when he came to her.
Exactly. More
But
careful about
I'm
it.
sure, like, speaking to her, talking to her, but they spent quite a good time together. He should have understood. Obviously, he should have known the country she was coming from. You get so at least because it is Kabili. If it's not like Amaka now, it's easy to come and
Exactly.
carry
Because
Amaka
his
go
relationship with her
for.
cannot even be compared to his relationship with Amaka.
Yes, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Like
So
that.
that also is like one of the examples in that finger that can tip the bucket. Exactly. So
It's like really planned out for this episode though. It planned its way. Anyway, so let me now ask you now. So you told me that I'm the one that is bad person.
okay.
How did you feel when this people's mother poisoned Papa Eugene? You should have been poisoning him small.
Small and honestly,
Let me
like
tell you something. Let me tell you something that my pastor said once. He was like that. Your wife is like the person you should resolve conflicts with the fastest because like you're eating her food every day. I mean, say you're talking to somebody and you told the person you people are fighting, you're not talking to her and you're eating her food, and you said yes now, and you think she cannot poison you. You're like, you don't think about it.
I've heard this stuff before, but I heard it in the form of your wife cheats on you and you are still eating her food. It's like
Wife cheat on you, I'll be cheating on your wife.
no, your wife cheated on you. You find out.
Okay.
You find out she's unapologetic about it, and you're still eating her food. So yes, anyways, yeah, that aside. So I don't know if I say he had it coming because okay, if Papa Iji was alive, how do I explain it? It's
Like if he came back after the
if he
death,
came back, I don't think he would. I don't feel he should be surprised.
exactly. Like come
Because
on
like
now.
you beat this woman, you should expect that she would want to kill you.
No, I think the man was just so full of himself that you don't think about that. Like he was just like
I think that the man had a godlike status of himself in his head,
he was a date.
omni
He
destruction.
was a date.
I can't be destroyed. So he had this godlike status in his mind because honestly, thinking about it, if he came back to life, he had no reason to be surprised that they
No.
poisoned him because you have you she has lost two babies.
Get no. I think it was so bad.
It should not surprise you that she will poison you. You deserve to be
When she
poisoned.
did it, when she did it, I was like, finally, this woman. I looked at you and I was like, you are so submissive to this man. You know how you left your own. And when she did it, I'm like, thank you very much. I'm like, I thought that there was not going to be anything about you in this book, but you showed yourself, you proved yourself.
So it just shows how much how much frustration can drive you,
Mm.
and this also shows what unresolved conflicts or
Yes,
unresolved
yes.
feelings can do to a
Mm.
person. When you're feeling something, you're this, and
Able to you're not communicate, you're not
you're
able
not
to communicate it,
yes,
yes.
it can eat you up to the point where you become something that you don't even recognize.
Mm.
Because I mean, look at Kambili's mother and look at the person, the Kambili's mother at the beginning of the book, the Kambili's mother we met, and then the person that poisoned the husband. They look like two completely different people. And
Exactly.
this is what this thing it can push you into. Unresolved emotions can push you into. It can push you to resentment where you act in a way that you'll be like, it's a lie.
Mm.
That was not me.
Can
Do you
never be
understand?
me.
So it's like I'm sure she had moments where like after the poisoning had done and he had died, where she'd be like, I actually killed this man.
I
You
don't, I
get
don't, I don't, I don't think so. I think at that point she had tough skin and built so much that she's like, I killed this man, man. like I killed this man, bro.
or maybe the children had it because yeah, the children probably had it because they could not
Mm.
believe,
Yeah.
their malleable mother is the one that
Because there was
became
a, there was a way
Kota.
they started like describing her after that
Yes.
stuff that it showed that this person has changed. This person not the same person you've always
Honestly, it's
known.
like amazing. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. That's what it can do to you. Because from the first place, if something was being done about all the trauma she was experiencing
Mm.
from the abuse, you probably would have not let her be poisoning the man. Yeah. But anyways, that's what happens. And it just shows things you do in life have repercussions that you must face. You must face. Did I
Please.
say face?
Oh, I see. English is hard.
Can we do this
English is
episode in
hard, bro.
EBBO?
Honestly, it's like you can be speaking so well. You not get to
Honestly,
one point, you're like, what's the word? What's the word?
what's the word? What to do? I wake up from his
You
grave
know,
and
I'm telling you,
decide to disgrace
you
you?
pronounce something, I be like, is that me?
Is that no? Like no, it can't be me that
Oh
said
my god.
and
Hi and
ah
hi.
high and high were high,
Oh my god. Okay.
high and high.
Sorry now. I really like Jaja. Like that whole the point where he just came up and he just took the blame for his mother. Like
Hmm.
he was just carrying something, he was carrying remote to give her. Like it was so it was that moment.
Hmm.
I was I think it was from the standpoint of Omo, I understand what this man is going through. So I don't even blame you. I don't judge you. If it's me, I would have poisoned the man. Let us
Yeah.
assume that it was me that did it. Because no. It was so nice.
Exactly. And you
I'm
notice
saying so
that
nice.
these
I
things
just sound like Jesus. Ah,
this is one thing that you notice that he has started building from it was not Jaja's own did not just happen out of the blues,
mm,
from standing up to his father, not leaving his door open, closing his
yes,
door,
yes.
leaving the table where there's no
Not
time,
enough
not coming
food.
down for certain things
No.
and all
I
of that.
was
He was
I
like,
was
he
so
has started
I
building
was scared
the
for Jaja at
I
certain
can fight
points.
back.
Mm.
Exactly. I felt like there's this of fear of Jaja, please just
Jaja, they are
obey.
going to kill you
Just
today. Hey,
obey.
once you do something, you don't maybe at that time they say you're not going to leave, you're not going to close the door. I'm like,
Mm.
hey, they're going to kill you, boy. They're going
I
to
was
kill
like,
you, boy. They said they're going to kill you.
like my body will shake, you know.
No. But all
Yeah.
in all, like it was a really, really great book. But then, this is what I'm asking you because I don't actually know.
Okay.
What's the purple hibiscus? Because I know the time I think she brought purple hibiscus from Auntie Farmer's house and
Anti-farmer group
planted
grew
purple hibiscus,
purple
Abi. So she brought it
hibiscuses,
and then she
yes,
planted it
in their
in
own
their own
house.
house.
Yeah.
How
So
do I say it? But
in the book, supposedly the story was that Antiphama's colleague, um I don't know the word exactly now, but made purple hibiscuses. There was some sort of is it cross pollination they call it?
yes, yes.
Yes, that he did or she did. I'm not sure of the gender of the colleague now.
Mm.
That saying that gender now makes me sound like one. I don't know. But like the word gender has been so abused these days that
Please, that
it
is he
now
or is
made me
she? Thank
please
you very
yes, like
much.
whether it was a he or a she.
And nothing else.
Nothing else. No others. I don't know if the colleague was male or female. Like normal human
It's
beings.
very important to emphasize it.
So yes, so I was not sure now, but then this was cross pollination and now made the purple hibiscus or created the purple hibiscuses
Mm,
because hibiscuses are generally red or pink.
yeah.
Yes, so it was something
So the
different,
one they
and
use for
so
Zobo is what?
hmm,
The one they use for Zobo.
the red one is what is used for zobo.
Eh,
Yes,
okay.
it's not the purple hibiscus.
Sorry.
Eh? So yes, so yeah, hibiscus are generally that, and there's just the symbolic part of purple hibiscus or what it symbolizes, and it's the fact that it's the fact that it's the fact that um it's the fact that in the book there was something that Chimamanda tried to portray with using purple
Mm,
hibiscuses, and it was just there was that it's just that shift from the regular into something different,
okay.
something
Okay. So that makes
something
sense.
unknown. Yes,
Mm,
it's like in a beginning. It's like you get there's a beginning. There's something. It's like there's something you're exploring parts. Something new, something
yeah.
utterly new about yourself, and then you see this in the changes that Kambili made in her life. She rediscovering herself and
Mm,
who she actually was. Like what you mentioned
yeah.
earlier, that this is who I actually am. This is me outside the control of my father. Yes, then you see the changes with Jaja as well. That you see Jaja as a human being, just as being an actual brother. I think because what I'm remembering is where he was helping one of the cousins, the male cousins, to kill chicken.
Mm,
Yes, at the back of the house, and then Kambi was all my brother can kill chicken.
mm.
So it's like just discovering new parts of himself. That okay, so this he was now allowed to live as an actual boy,
Yeah.
teenage boy that can do teenage things that teenage boys do
Mm,
and all of that. So it's like Papa Hibiscus just signifies an awakening, a shift from the norm. You get this is different. This is not the usual. This is rediscovery. This is individuality because we just know Kambili as all the things that Papa Eugene made her to be.
yeah.
But then coming to Suka, experiencing the growth, we are seeing Kambili as Kambili. We are seeing Jaja as Jaja. Do you get all of those things? So yeah,
I think also the fact that like after it was after they came back I think from my phase, that was when that whole um what's now the stuff with their dad happened and then father died.
yeah,
And it was not like their life was just about to have a new beginning.
yes, yes, exactly.
Apparently like Kamili was planning to plant purple hibiscus after Jaja returned from prison. So probably just like, this is me trying to be deep now, bringing the whole anti-format thing to Enugu and
Yeah,
all that.
and like the actual new
Yeah.
beginnings. Yes, mm,
Mm.
profound.
Anyway, so this was a great conversation. Like I really enjoyed. This is like, when you're talking about your favorite ice cream.
Yeah,
So if you like talking about pop ice because I feel like we've not there's a lot of things we've not even explored. There's a lot of things we've not even
yes,
talked
it's a
about.
lot because it cannot be explored. You need to see it
Exactly, like you're
yourself.
trying to. So please, if you're listening to it, have not read pop hibiscus, please go and read it. Please.
Like, why?
What have you not read pop hibiscus? What have you not read? Reader,
What do you know?
please. Go and read pop
So
hibiscus, yeah.
please read Purple Hibiscus and love it
Yeah.
because the book
Because you
will
will love
give
it.
you in awe.
Anyway, so I think this is where we come to the end of this particular episode. Do you have parting words for us, the muse?
Okay, stepping into my office as the muse.
Come on.
It was really great discussing. I'm always up to discuss call me anytime, any day. I'm ready to discuss purple hibiscus because ah, what do you mean? I'm ready to discuss any books here in the wrote actually, but then purple
I said I
hibiscus is
should discuss any
just
book that she has
okay.
read.
I'm ready to discuss any book generally. Yeah, that's let me not lie. I'm ready to discuss anything I've read. But yeah, so I'm always ready to discuss purple hibiscus. So I loved being here because
She's a fan. Number one, she's a huge fan.
yes, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I loved being here. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking. I feel renewed. I
Like a
might
new
start videoing it
man.
again soon. So
Anyway, so
yeah.
yeah, okay. So do you want us to follow you on Instagram or something, social media?
Okay, yes. What are those two social media platforms I'm on?
Instagram
Instagram.
and Twitter.
Yes. Follow me on how do you say it? Say, follow me
Follow
on
me on
Instagram
Instagram.
at
Joke underscore the
Joker, yes,
Muse.
Joker underscore the Muse and Twitter at Muse Letters.
If you're looking for it, you can come and find out on my own Twitter. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
she does spoken word. You can reach out to her if you want someone to come and wow your audience.
Yes, thank you very
You can reach
much.
out to her.
We're taking gigs.
Yes, so I can snap your fingers to it.
I know
Oh
you
my
want to
god.
continue.
Anyway, so thank you so much for listening to today's episode. See you on the next one.
Bye.